Hello, good morning, everybody. This is just a little intro to the actual video because since I shot the video till now, a few things have happened. I have no idea what time it is. Let's just say 830, 900 hours. 936 hours. Yeah, I believe I saved mom approximately $70 to $80 because the gentlemen were gonna take the old pieces of the fence. They were gonna take it with them and dump it, but I knew today was bulk day, so I just literally lifted everything up myself and put it out there and let the guy could take it. And he actually came early, so as I was up dropping Mariah off and turning the corner from onto our street, I saw him, so I kind of like ran and see if I could get as much more as I could, and I did. So essentially, all the gentlemen had to take out is just like 4 panels of wood and like one, like it's not a 2x4, but it's like a rectangular piece. Let's just say for 4 inch, 4 inch square, like 3 or 4 inch squared, a rectangular piece. But it's about 9 feet long. That's all they have to take. So if before it was gonna be $100 to dispose of it all, it should only be about maybe like $20 now. 30 to make them happy if you want. I also cleaned the whole backyard, so while they worked, they didn't have a lot of dirt around them. They didn't have leaves. I took as much as I could out of their way to make their job simpler. And this morning, thank goodness, thank heaven, I didn't have to water the lawn because it mowed a lot last night. If you can tell, I'm sweating because I've been moving around like a crazy person, and then it doesn't help that I'm drinking a cup of coffee anyways. But anyway, so just want to make a quick short intro, and the intro was to a little segment I recorded out of the whim. And if I was to make a video out of it, I would have titled it Power Snack. And it's because I made the princess, I made her snack. One thing I did notice though, there is a Swedish supermarket here in the States. It's called Aldi's. They're two brothers. Eventually they separated, at least in the States. Or also in Europe, if I understand. In Europe, I think they're called Aldi's North and Aldi's South. And here in the States, they're called Aldi's and Trader Joe's. It's two brothers. I guess they wanted to go different routes, but it's the same family. Anyways, so when Mariah was at Grandma's, they went to Aldi's and bought a lot of things, including a lot of fruits. But I did notice that the fruits from Aldi's are not the same as the fruits from Publix, which might be a good thing. Maybe they don't use as much, because sometimes for produce, for it to look nice and for the consumer to want it, they have to like pump it with all this fake stuff, which essentially may not be the greatest for you, but it's just there to make it look like how it's supposed to look. Like oranges, for instance. Oranges are green, really. They come in green. I think they come in different colors, but we're used to orange, and because we're used to orange, we genetically genetically modified them through time, so that they would we would only get the orange specimen. Same thing with bananas. Bananas back in the days, they used to have a whole bunch of seeds in them. So eventually, through time, we genetically modified them, and we only bred the ones with the least seeds. So that's why right now we only have like one strand of banana that's really popular in the world. But anyways, let me say my goodbyes for now. Let me show you the video of the power snack. I might do a little narration to show you the snacks that I put on there. And the difference, in regards to the difference in Publix, if I buy a pound of strawberries, they're all like usually nice, and like they have like a certain like they're not mushy. Like usually when fruits go mushy, that's when they're best for smoothies. All these fruits, I tend to notice, maybe because they got them on a Saturday and I didn't consume them fast enough. But even still, the Publix ones usually last, I think, a little bit longer without going mushy. When fruits go mushy, and which means they're about to rot or spoil or whatever, that means that that's the best time to make a smoothie out of them. But yeah, all these fruits did bear that fact per se. All right, well, let's move on. Hey, here with an extra clip. Uh, Power Snack 3. Here, as you can see, a lot of these fruits were purchased from Aldi's, which is I believe a Swedish supermarket. You can see most of the apples in the back. But what I've noticed, me personally, we did find two mandarins yesterday. So there's one in the we found one in the refrigerator, which we share in the garage, and we found one, and this is Papa Alex and Mama Vilma's refrigerator right there. So she wasn't completely out. But what I noticed about their fruits, then in my IMO, they're not the same consistency and quality as fruits from, like, let's say Publix. In Publix, like in Aldi's, some of them come out like mushy, and but that might be a good thing. Maybe they use less things to keep them like looking fresh. Sorry for repeating myself. They're getting fresh product. Just like salmon. Salmon originally is like gray, but then they paint it pink so that we're accustomed to it. I don't know, but that's just one thing I noticed. All right, just want to add this clip. Thanks to you. Thank you. Bye. Stuttering. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome again to another lovely Tuesday morning. Today is March 28th, I think. Here in beautiful Pembroke Pines, Florida. It is approximately 06:35 hours, 06:40. I woke up late today because last night it rained, so I was told that when it rains at night, the sprinklers don't really need to be giving water in the morning. If the sun comes, like if I can do it before the sun comes up or as it's coming up, I might just do a quick jet, like in the nozzles, how they have the different options. You have jet, you have shower, you have mist, you have flat, and so forth. There's different ones of them. I try to use shower and then just go as slow as I can to the thing. My neighbor across the street was very kind, and he offered to lend me. He has one of those that you just connect the hose to it and it just goes back and forth. He says I could just do that, leave it for like 15 minutes in one area or something, or leave it for like an hour in an area and then go back and then go move it to another section. I was thinking of going to Home Depot and seeing if they have the same machines, but instead of just the the place where you put the hose into, if there's one that you can put a hose into it and then you can add another hose to it to then add another one, so then you can make a series of them. Because I have a feeling that the sprinklers, the job of the sprinklers being done, it's not going to be done anytime soon, and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little difficult for me, even though it was either all or nothing. And also, when I was waking up really early, I'm gonna be honest with you, working the jobs that that I did in the morning as a vendor, it's easier than watering the grass. Yeah, you move a lot harder, faster, and you gotta do a lot more physical work, but it's just easier. The um the sprinklers is just monotonous. It's almost like human torture. So I'd rather wake up at 1 100 hours as opposed to 400 hours. I gotta walk to Publix later today, but right after I drove up the Princess, I went in the room as soon as the alarm went off because I was just happy, and I don't know, I wanted to just lay down next to them, and then I lay down next to them for a second. I didn't do anything, I wasn't too disruptive, but then after I walked out, I realized I'm like, oh my goodness, there's school today. I'm still thinking it's spring break. Sorry about so many Sorry about so many Yeah, so that's about it for today. Not much going on in my life. What's going on in your lives? I would like to hear from you guys if possible. I don't want to sit and talk about my life anymore. I want to hear more about what people out there, what you guys are going through. Anything interesting or anything boring. You never know. Just like how they say one person's garbage is another person's treasure. One person's day of being bored might be another person's best day of their lives. So I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say, as far as how your days go and what you guys do. Obviously, it's the internet. You can be as anonymous as you want. I'm not anonymous, and I share a lot because I already know the truth, and the truth is that there is no privacy. They can get into, and when I mean they, I mean estates with really, how do I say it? With like real access to the resources needed so that they can either hack information, they can access information. And ever since like the launch of Facebook, privacy was thrown out the door, and then Facebook bought Instagram. Once again, the loss of privacy. YouTube, I believe, is owned by Alphabet. I don't know what their policies are. I should have read the fine terms and conditions first. Oh my god, who actually does that? Yeah, so, and also we live in a state of mass surveillance. Per capita in the United States, there are more cameras than there are in China. So here in the States, we always hear about, oh, China's a surveillance state. They have cameras all over the place. But let me tell you something from that I've heard. Fact check it. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. We have more cameras here per capita than any other country in the world. So if you want to talk about mass surveillance, most of my audience, I believe, is here from the States. Just look in your own backyard or just look out your front door and wave hi and say hi. So this country is supposed to be a melting pot of a lot of different cultures and, people getting together. But the problem is that a lot of us like to watch television, and essentially television programs us to think and to feel certain ways. And some of us are smart enough to realize that it's made to do that. Some of us don't really acknowledge its power and allow it to dictate the way that we behave, the way that we talk, dictate our opinions. Just, it's foolish, but we're human beings. We're not perfect. So that's why I always say to everybody, if you've had enough, just turn it off. If you're looking at me right now, I appreciate it. But if you've had enough of everything, turn it off. Do something else. Go ride a bike. Go for a walk. Go talk to a neighbor. Talk to people. To stop the online dating. Go to nightclubs and meet people like how we used to do it. All this stuff is just gotten, don't get me wrong, technology is wonderful. I myself believe there's going to be, leaps and bounds in technology that are going to be able to possibly make this place where we live, this rock that orbits the sun, a better place, just as long as the heads of states remain cool and they don't do anything irrational, like allegedly some are right now, like in Russia or I don't know, other places. I try not to watch the news as much as possible because it's always the same thing. News have to drag you in. So in other words, there's a good video which I'm going to put a link to it, which actually just came out a couple days ago, and I wanted to link it the same day it came out. It talks about there's a negativity bias and about how here in the US the majority of our news has to do with negativity. And the fact is, because since we're in a free it's a free corporate, it's a free market. The news is essentially not run by the state, therefore it's run by advertisements, and people who put advertisements and they pay money for it, they want the most eyeballs on it. And in order for news media to get the most eyeballs attached to their channel, they have to put stories which a lot of times are just sensationalist, and they just talk about the bad things that have happened. And we also live in a country where everything is connected, so if something bad happens in Timbuktu or whatever, you're going to hear about it, and that's it, because everything is so connected. So there's plenty of bad news to be gone around. But if a story goes out and it has it's a positive one, people are not going to be drawn to it. They're more, like by nature, we're more drawn to watch this video. I'm going to link it in the description, so please check out the description. Um, Almost done with my tobacco. Halfway done with my coffee. So I will sign off. Thank you for watching. This is David. Nothing to see here. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Please be kind to one another. And may peace and love be with every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your subscription, like, and comments would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Please join Patreon so that maybe I can get new equipment and make better recordings.